Hello everyone, hope you're right. In today's video I'm going to show you how my garden is doing in the month of May. So we are in the first week of May and the weather has finally started to warm up for us. The nighttime temperature is around 10 degrees centigrade, but the daytime temperature is going to be 18 to 20 degrees centigrade in coming couple of weeks, and it's going to be dry. And you can see I have done some work in my garden. So my garden has got a new look. I have replaced the grass lawn with this slate, gray chips, whatever I could get. It was on sale, so I thought it's a good deal. I know grass lawn looks beautiful, it's a rest for your eyes, and I really wanted to have a grass lawn in the beginning, but after a year or so I figured out my garden is quite shady and the soil remains quite wet and it rains all the time, so it is really hard to mow the grass. And I want to show you this beautiful lilac tree. It is in full bloom now. Last year it did not get many blooms, but this year it is loaded with these white clusters of flowers, and it is so fragrant and it is looking absolutely gorgeous. I'm loving this lilac and it is so beautiful. I can't thank enough to whoever planted these beautiful trees or shrubs here. And here is another showstopper at the moment, which are my apple trees. So I have got two, and I did a hard pruning on these trees this year as they were really grown a lot, and you can see they are loaded with blooms, so I can guess there will be a great harvest of apples this year. And I have got another small apple tree which I brought with me from my previous garden, and it is loaded with blooms. In fact, the small apples are already being formed and there are pollinators all over my garden. You can hear the buzz going on, and there are so many insects and pollinators this time of year. And you can see my hukra patch is doing really well. All these hukra plants I brought from my previous garden and they are developing really nicely. Schema is standing new growth, and this is an evergreen shrub, absolutely beautiful. It had flowers earlier in late winter, early spring. And my rose bush, which I figured out that it was a climbing bush last year, so I did a hard pruning on it and put a topiary around it. Bleeding heart is going out of bloom now, so as it's getting warmer and more sunnier, it's starting to fade out now. So does the hellebore plant behind it. It is going really deep in color now, and soon it will fade out. Hostas are coming off, and hydrangea is growing really big. I have got 3-4 hydrangeas around my garden, and this bay laurel tree is doing good. I did a hard pruning on it last year, and you can see it is getting flower buds on it. And this is another showstopper at the moment. This is a tree. It looks so beautiful all summer long. Of course, it's deciduous, so it shares its leaf in winter, but it has a beautiful structure to it, and throughout summer it looks so gorgeous. And rhododendron is struggling a little bit, but it's growing well. Lupin coming back from last year, and I have got another one planted this year. And all these plants are wallflowers and some other things which I started from seed last year. They are doing well. And this perennial plant, I love it, Erysimum. This is my another favorite plant. You can see it's loaded with blooms and it's kind of evergreen, so I'm thinking to get more of these in my garden. And you can see these beautiful rocks. I have made this border with rocks, and I got a really good deal, so I picked up these rocks from a landscaping yard. And I wanted to do this border from last year, as the birds, when they come in the garden, they just make a lot of clutter, so I wanted to separate my patio area from the garden area. And here you can see my climbing plants. They are doing well. Grapevine on this side. This grapevine is a bit slower, and this one is doing really well, so it has got lots of new growth coming out. And I love my arches, and I can't really wait for all these plants to fill this archway. And all these fences are self-sown, and I have got some ranunculus tulips here. And this is my rose, climbing rose, which is doing really well, starting to fill up the archway. And my patio container is flanking the archway. They have junipers in the middle with creeping phlox, which is starting to bloom now. and same wallflowers, tulips, and anemones on this side. And you can see jasmine plant is doing really well. This container I recently planted with my geraniums, which I overwintered, and few other things going on. Primulas are done now. So spring flowering plants are starting to fade now, and summer annuals or summer perennials are taking on over. And this container I planted with another hellebore. It is kind of evergreen, so I think it would be a good idea. Now I'm thinking to plant evergreens in my containers and some perennials, and I think instead of getting so many annuals every year, I will focus on planting more perennials and spring flowering bulbs, and this will be my way to go in coming years now. This kiwi vine is doing really well. It's been 4 years now, and many people were asking me for updates, and you can see it is loaded with blooms. Last year I had few kiwis which were absolutely delicious, and I can't really wait this year to get a really good harvest of kiwis. So they are absolutely delicious. And some more climbing plants in these containers. And I have started to plant my summer annuals in the containers which I started from seed, like sunflowers, crop sunflowers, marigolds, alyssum, and lobelia. So I'm focusing on these plants now because I have figured out from years of experience that these plants do better in the kind of climate we have. I'm not going to buy any petunias this year because they really struggle in the kind of weather we have, and these hanging baskets I still need to plant. So I will be focusing on planting lobelias and alyssum around marigolds and warp sunflowers. I may get some impatiens and begonias if I have the space. So alliums are starting to flower now, and tulips are fading, and I have planted gem in this container, and these when these are self-sown I will let them go as long as they flower. And as I said, I am focusing on planting evergreens, perennials in the containers, and some summer annuals which I can start from seed. And this raised bed has got strawberry plants in it, and this year the strawberry plants are coming nice and strong. Last year I planted new plants here, and we did not have a good harvest last year, and also the birds kept picking up whatever we had. So let's see how it goes this year. And I do need to get more mulch, bark mulch, and the last year one has really faded now. I have planted my tomato plants here which are looking terrible at the time, but they will pick up soon if the heat lasts for us. And these pepper plants and some sweet peas, which when they will be done I will replace them with beans. And this is my peach tree which I brought from last year, and it has got growth all down there, so I will see how it does. My plum tree is loaded with leaves this year, and it's sending a lot of growth. So it's been 3 years now. It does produce delicious plums, so I want to get it mature and established. And these foxgloves are all self-sown, and another skimia bush here. There are some trees coming up which I need to weed out, and my beautiful bird bath which I need to figure out the space for it. And azalea is in full bloom, looking absolutely beautiful. I just got this plant this year and I want it to be established. Another perennial plant in this container. So now I'm working on my container, so I'm planting them in a couple of weeks time. I will plant them. Daffodils are done, so I will let them go when the leaves fade out, and then I will get more plants to go in the garden in empty spots. But the garden is looking overall looking very good, very beautiful, filling up really nicely, and I'm loving the new look with these gray chips. I know many people won't like it, but this is low maintenance and we can use more space. So I'm in my front yard now, and my front yard is basically a few patches of plants with driveway. So you can see this patch is taking on its shape, and I have got some established plants here like conifers and a bay laurel, but I'm planting more things here like perennials and evergreens and summer flowering and spring flowering plants. So here I've got euphorbia, which is blooming really beautifully, and behind there we had a tree which was dead, so I have replaced it now, and I have got a magnolia tree in its place. So I hope it does well. I'm really worried about that it doesn't die on me, because the tree was dead which was here. And you can see that look at the mom plant is coming on beautifully. Here's my cherry tree, and this is small at the moment, but you can see it is loaded with flowers. And these tulips I absolutely adore. They are so beautiful. They are only 6 or 7, but they are so big. You can see the size of the flower. It is bigger than my hand and so vibrant and beautiful. This is my standard rose tree, and it is kind of establishing itself now, and you can see these Opacia plants are spreading really well. And here are my containers by the entry door. I do need to arrange them a little bit, and I have got some planted for spring. And this is my hanging basket, which is really filled up now, so I do need to do some work on it as well. So I have got again evergreens in there and primulas in there and creeping clocks, so I need to plant some summer annuals in there. I am loving these primulas. They are so beautiful. And some containers on this side as well. This is a patch with palm tree, and I have got an honeysuckle which I want to train on it. And I have got some things in these containers which are evergreens or like perennials, which are coming back from last year, but I do need to plant them properly. And this palm tree is absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. It is growing a lot, so I do need to do some pruning on it as well, and I want honeysuckle to climb on it. I think it will look absolutely beautiful. This container has got hebe in it, which is coming back nicely from last year. There are these evergreen yellow plants which I think they are vinca. They have kind of climbing habit, but I'm not really sure. They were already here, and this container was looking so beautiful earlier, but it's getting done now. The tulips are fading and my rose bush is coming on really beautifully. It is starting to fill up the trellis now, and all these climbing roses have really beautiful flowers. Now this bug looks a bit different to me. I'm not sure what it is, but I have spotted loads of ladybugs in my garden this year. I haven't sprayed anything yet, and I don't really want to. Plants are doing well anyway, but there are some insects feeding on my plants, but I'm letting it go as long as the plants are doing okay. And this this has grown a lot, and you can see it is starting to bloom now. All these beautiful small clusters of purple flowers looking so adorable. And yarrow is coming back from last year. It is so beautiful shrub. And daffodils are done now, but muscaris are still going on. There is a clematis and a climbing rose which are growing really well, covering up the space. And this space is filling up really nicely, and it's looking so beautiful. And this is really a showstopper. You see these forget-me-nots and creeping phlox. They are really filling up really well and blooming so beautiful. Buddleia is growing really nicely, and I'm loving this look of my garden. This is a side street, so we don't really get to see much, but you can see it driving down the lane, so I really want it to look beautiful. This dogwood I pruned earlier hard, and you can see it is sending new growth now. So isn't it so beautiful and amazing how this new growth is coming out of those branches which looked dead earlier. And this forsythia is young plant. I planted it from a bare root last year, and it is growing, and I want it to establish first, then I will prune it. And these are ground covers, sedums, which I have got here, so I want them to fill up this narrow pathway. And this is my back garden from outside the street. You can see how it looks. So lilac is still looking so beautiful from outside the house as well in the side street, and you can see it is so amazing. Amelanchia was looking so beautiful earlier, but it's done now. So I hope you enjoyed watching this tour of my garden, and I'll keep you updated about its progress in coming weeks. See you next time. Bye bye.